This is a song that I wrote about my dad. I think about it every time, honest to God, every time I drive over the Centennial Bridge going home, because I still live in Rock Island, but I work over here. And if you go over the Centennial Bridge towards Rock Island and you look off on the Illinois shore on the right-hand side, you'll see a big earthen dike that runs down to where the seawall starts at Modern Woodman. My dad built that dike, and he went up and down that thing on a bulldozer. And I can remember, you know, I was like 10, 11 years old, and I can remember seeing him going up and down that dike on that bulldozer. He'd work down there 15, 16, 17 hours a day until they got that flood underway. He worked on the flood of '65. And I remember I was a 10-year-old boy, just like it says in the song. I can remember him taking me down at the foot of 20th Street, and there was this huge wall of sandbags that had to be like 20 feet high. And I can remember him telling me, I was standing on the other side of it, if you walked up to the top of that and looked over, he says, the water is just like a foot down from the top of that. So where you're standing at, you'd be underwater. There'd be like 10 feet of water on your head. And I was just like, you know, a 10-year-old kid, it's like, you gotta be kidding me. But I remember the flood of '65, and I remember my dad not coming home for days, and they lived down there in the trucks, and they ate Red Cross food, and sometimes I wouldn't see him for 2 or 3 days, but him and a bunch of other people, the city of Rock Island, saved that city, and I was always real proud of my dad for that, so I wrote this song for him. And I'm glad to say that he got to hear it before he passed away. Sitting here on the riverbank, all looks so calm and peaceful now. It wasn't always that way, people, let me tell you now. The river takes an ocean to flood, leave you standing deep in the mud, the way the Mississippi did here in '65. An early thaw up north and a little rain. I was only 10 years old at the time. Still see as clear as yesterday, people, let me tell you now. Them old men, they would sit and surmise the river just continued to rise. The old man sat and watched as the marker read 21-5. We were bagging at the levee and the skies were looking heavy. We prayed that it would soon subside. We prayed that he'd deliver all the folks along the river from the waters of the flood of '65. The men, they worked all day and they worked all night. The high schools and colleges, they manned the dikes. We all saw the power of the river, people, let me tell you now. Late April saw the river crest, 22-5 at his best. It took a little bit of us all when he finally went down. Now I'm sitting here on this riverbank, watching a big old barge locking through. Never forget the flood of '65, let me tell you now. The power that the river showed when the banks weren't banks no more. The Mississippi left us standing helpless in the mud. As we were bagging at the levee, the skies were looking heavy. We prayed that it would soon subside. We prayed that he'd deliver all the folks along the river from the waters of the flood of '65. We were bagging at the levee, the skies were looking heavy. We prayed that it would soon subside. Prayed that he'd deliver all the folks along the river from the waters of the flood of '65. Thank you.